Your brain is lying to you. It's tricking you into believing that overthinking will solve your problems. But here's the truth: it's doing the opposite. It's keeping you stuck, anxious, and paralyzed. Science proves that the more you think, the more fake problems your brain invents. The worst part? The longer you overthink, the harder it becomes to escape. But here's the good news: there's a way out. By the end of this video, you'll have powerful tools to break free from overthinking for good. Picture this. It's midnight. You're staring at the ceiling, replaying a conversation from earlier. Did I say the wrong thing? What if they misunderstood me? You grab your phone to distract yourself, but your mind keeps spinning. Sound familiar? That's the trap of overthinking. And the truth is, it's not your fault. Overthinking isn't just a bad habit, it's your brain's survival mechanism gone wrong. Neuroscientists have found that the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for problem solving, gets hyperactive when faced with uncertainty. Instead of making a decision, it sends you into a loop, constantly replaying scenarios, analyzing tiny details, and creating imaginary problems that don't even exist. A 2017 study published in Clinical Psychological Science found that overthinking is closely linked to increased anxiety and stress disorders. The more we ruminate, the more our cortisol levels rise, making us feel overwhelmed and paralyzed. But overthinking isn't just annoying, it's actively harming you in ways you might not even realize. First, it kills productivity. Have you ever spent 30 minutes trying to write the perfect email? Or wasted hours deciding on something minor, like what to wear or what to eat? That's overthinking at work, turning simple tasks into mental roadblocks. Second, it fuels anxiety. Studies show that chronic overthinking keeps your brain in a stress response state. You're not just thinking, you're preparing for worst-case scenarios that may never happen. And third, it creates decision paralysis. The biggest risk in life isn't making the wrong choice, it's making no choice at all. Some of the most successful people in the world, like Jeff Bezos and Barack Obama, intentionally reduce the number of decisions they make daily. Because the more decisions you overanalyze, the more mentally drained you become. This is known as decision fatigue, and it's one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck in life. And when you're stuck in indecision, opportunities pass you by. Life doesn't wait while you overthink. It moves forward with or without you. Now that you know the dangers of overthinking, how do you stop it? Here are 4 powerful ways to break free. The first is the 2-minute rule. One of the fastest ways to stop overthinking is to limit the time you allow yourself to decide. If a decision is small and doesn't have major consequences, give yourself only 2 minutes to make it. The reason this works? Most overthinking happens on things that don't actually matter. For example, can't decide what to eat? Set a timer for 2 minutes, pick something, and move on. Your brain will always try to overcomplicate things, but the truth is, you don't need extra time to make a basic decision. The second trick is the 5-5-5 mind hack. This is a psychological trick that high achievers use to shut down overthinking instantly. Whenever you find yourself spiraling in indecision, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 days? Will this matter in 5 months? Will this matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, then stop giving it so much attention. Most things we overthink about are small details that won't even matter in a few weeks. Your time and mental energy are too valuable to waste on temporary worries. The third and most important tip is to take immediate action. The longer you sit in analysis mode, the stronger overthinking becomes. The solution? Move immediately. Even taking one small step breaks the cycle. For example, if you're overthinking going to the gym, don't sit there debating it. Just put on your workout clothes. If you're stuck on a big decision, write down one immediate step you can take and do it now. Overthinking thrives on inaction. The moment you take control and start doing instead of thinking, you break free from the cycle. Now, let's talk about something that explains why your brain won't let go of unfinished thoughts: the Zeigarnik effect. Psychologists discovered that our brain holds onto unfinished tasks like an open tab on a computer. That's why when you leave something unresolved, whether it's a decision, a conversation, or an incomplete project, your brain keeps bringing it up, over and over again. This is why you keep replaying awkward conversations in your head. Your brain sees it as unfinished business and refuses to let it go. So how do you close these mental tabs? The key is to consciously finish them. If it's a decision, set a deadline, make the choice, and move forward. If it's a conversation you regret, tell yourself, "It's over, I've learned from it, and I'm moving on." If it's an incomplete task, write down a specific plan to finish it. Once your brain sees the task as handled, it stops obsessing over it. Another powerful method for stopping overthinking is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. CBT is a scientifically proven technique used by psychologists to stop rumination and negative thought cycles. The main idea? Challenge your thoughts instead of accepting them as fact. For example, let's say you keep thinking, "I always mess up in social situations." Instead of letting that thought spiral, challenge it by asking, "Is this really true? Have I ever had a good interaction before?" What's a more realistic way to look at this? By questioning your own thoughts, you break the cycle of overthinking and retrain your brain to focus on reality instead of imagined fears. Here's a bonus tip. If overthinking is constantly overwhelming your mind, try the mind dump method. Grab a notebook or open a notes app. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Write down every thought racing in your mind. No filtering, no structure, just write. This technique clears mental clutter and gets thoughts out of your head, making them less overwhelming. A study by the University of Chicago found that people who wrote down their worries before an exam performed better than those who didn't. Because the act of writing physically removes stress from your brain's processing load. Overthinking is a habit, but like any habit, it can be broken. The key is to take action before your brain traps you in another cycle of doubt. Most people will watch this, nod along, and do nothing. A month from now, they'll still be stuck in the same overthinking cycle. But not you. Because you're about to take action. You've just learned 5 science-backed techniques. But knowledge without action is useless. For the next 24 hours, pick one strategy and test it. Not next week, not later today, right now. Drop a comment saying "I'm in," so I know you're serious. Then come back in 24 hours and comment again with what worked best. Let's turn knowledge into action. And if you want more science-backed strategies to take control of your mind, subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Now go take action. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.